Hi folks, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning how to construct triangles given their base length and their base angles, okay? So what we're going to be doing is using our set squares and a protractor to complete this. So often guys, when you're given one of these triangle problems, it's often going to say something like this. Construct triangle, I've just drawn a little triangle there. Construct triangle ABC with a baseline length 80 millimeters and base angles 50 and 35. Okay, so we're going to highlight the important information there guys. So the baseline is 80 millimeters and the base angles are 50 and 35. So just draw circles around them. 50, 35 and 80. Okay, they're the things that are going to help us. Starting off guys, we're going to draw a line there that's 80 millimeters long. Okay, so just do a construction line first. I'm going to measure on that 80. I'm going to use my T-square to be able to measure it. So 20 up to 28 is 80. So there we go. That is a baseline length 80 millimeters. Baseline, you don't have to write this in, but just for understanding purposes, 80 millimeters. So there's my baseline of 80 millimeters. Now I want one of my base angles to be at 50 and the other one to be at 35. So at this point now I'm going to use my protractor and use it with my T-square if you have one. If not, just make sure you're zeroed in on the line as well, okay? So make sure you're also at the end of the line here. So I'll just mark that there. I'll mark that. So that's where we're going to do it from. So I'm on that there now. I'm on the end of the line. So I'm going to mark up 50 degrees from this side. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is right there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to come over to the other side, and I know it has to be 35 degrees, only read the other way. So once again, come to the end of the line, 0 it in, and 0 up to 35. So there's 30, 35 is there. And what I can do now is draw my construction lines first to connect them up. And there we go, there is our triangle completed. Nice and simple, okay? That there is completing a triangle given the base line length and the angles, okay? The base angles. So in this case we had 50 degrees here in that angle, which is the base angle, and in this one we had 35. Okay, nice and simple, okay? Move on to the next one guys, okay, up here. So once again, construct a triangle ABC with baseline length 85 millimeters, okay, 85 millimeters. So same thing, starting off, construction line, I'm going to measure 85 millimeters, so it'll be up to 42.5, so there's 85. Okay, I'm using my T-square for the measurements guys, you can see it on here. Okay, if you're not sure on that, use your set squares, okay, starting at 0. So right there, I've done 85 millimeters of a baseline. So once again, I'm going to write that in. And now I've got two base angles, one at 30 degrees and the other one at 105. So I'm going to start with the big one, which is 105 degrees. So this time I'll actually just use the the protractor on its own. So make sure that it's not like this. Obviously you can see it's not zeroed in. So the 0, okay, is on the line as well. And when you're happy, okay, and we're at the edge of the point there, now I can mark 105. So 0, we know 90 is up here, and now we're getting into the 100. So there's 100, there's 110, so it has to be between the two of them. So there's 105 right there. Make a little mark. Once again, you can do a construction line. So somewhere up there is going to be my apex of my triangle. Now we know the other angle, okay, so I should have highlighted it at the start. That was 85 millimeters, and then we had 105 degrees as a base angle and 30 degrees as the other base. So if this one is the 105, I'm going to write that in there. Okay, 105. This one is 30. Now, if you have a T-square and a set square, you can save yourself a bit of time here. Instead of using your protractor, okay, we have a 30 degree set square. Okay, so if it ever works out that the angle is 45 or 30 or 60, okay, or 75 or 15, we can actually use our set squares. Okay, so you can see there I've gone up at an angle of 30 degrees. I'm going to write that in there now. Okay, and now I will just heavy in my triangle. Just heavy in that there. And there we go. Question completed, okay? Now at this point, guys, I'm actually going to do 2 questions, okay, from your World of Graphics textbook. They're on page 48, okay? And I'm going to start with the first one, which is a triangle with a baseline of 100 and base angles of 30 and 60. So this one is like the one I kind of did here. So a baseline of 100. So I'm going to mark that, 19 out of 29. There's my baseline, 100 millimeters. Baseline 100. Okay, now for this, okay, we can obviously go one angle. They said what base angle was 60 degrees, so I'm going to use my t-square and set square. So I'm going to go up at 60 degrees there, and somewhere up along there is going to be my apex. For the other one, okay, I could just use, and it would save me time obviously using the t-square, but just to show you, we could also use the protractor. Come to the end of the line, and then I'm going to mark up 30 degrees. So you can see where my 30 is there. Okay, having done that, I will now draw it in. Okay, and as we can see there, that is my triangle completed. Base angle 60, base angle 30. That's from question 1 of your workbook on page 48. So that angle in there is 60, and this angle in here is 30. Okay, so there we go. Now the last one, okay, we're just going to fill it in down here. We're going to do I'll actually do question 4, okay, and it says construct a triangle ABC with a baseline length of 105 millimeters and base angles 90 and 30. Okay, so I'm going to do this one all with my set squares. Okay, you can obviously see depending on the angles, okay, you might have to use a protractor or set squares. So baseline length of 105 millimeters. So 33 out to here, so 33, 43, 43.5. There we go. So that's 105 there, guys, from there to there. So base line, if I can spell baseline, my apologies, 105 millimeters. Okay, and then we also have the angles at 90 and, just check here in the book, 30. So in this case now, this is a nice simple one. We can just use our t-squares, or set squares I should say. So going up vertically, that is a perpendicular angle to the baseline, okay, because the baseline is horizontal. This line here I've drawn up is vertical. Therefore the angle in here is 90 degrees, often shown by that symbol, or sometimes you can do a little square inside here as well. Okay, and now I can just use my protractor, or sorry, not my protractor, my set square, and that's going up at 30 degrees there. And there we go. That one is question 4 on the page. Okay, nice and simple. And just heavy that in. So if that's 90, this guy here is 30. We could do a bit of maths, and that would prove that that angle up there is 60, okay? Same way we could work out what this angle is, this angle, and this angle is, okay? That's just there, guys, using angles and a baseline length to be able to construct triangles, okay? Often the questions are going to be phrased like this: construct triangle ABC, where we might have literally, it might be here A, B, and C, okay? Construct triangle ABC, okay? You could label it here A, B, and C. Basically each of the points is labeling a vertex, okay, and generally actually you would label the top one A because that would be the apex, okay, APEX. Alright, and then we have base angles, which are the line, or the angles along the ground, okay, or not the ground, along the baseline, so they are called the base angles, and it'll tell you what they are. So depending if it's 30 degrees, we can obviously use our set square. If it's something a bit more awkward, we're going to have to use our protractors, okay? And you can see down here, 60 and 30, that one could have been got obviously just using set squares, and the exact same with this one here, okay? But if the angle is something in between those, you will have to use your protractor. Okay, hope you found that helpful, guys. That is those questions completed there.